Hello friends, myself Bonaful Banerjee once again back to the channel that is Hospitality Education PPT. As you all know that we have started discussing on different cooking methods, and the name of the topic we had discussed already, that is diverse cooking methods and the different mediums of cooking. Till now we have completed 5 sessions on this, and major part of the cooking methods are already discussed. Today is our last session on this particular topic, that is diverse cooking methods, and here we are going to discuss about the combination cooking methods, and also at the end we'll definitely showcase all the cooking methods under different medium, and in one page we'll see the cooking methods, how it will be applicable, especially those who are just the beginners in hospitality education and very much interested about the food production area, and also those who are preparing yourself for the campus interview, and definitely for all of you this session is very important. So why to wait, let us start. So let us begin to discuss about the last topic of the day. First let us see the scope of study. As I have discussed, already mentioned in the beginning, that we are going to discuss about what is braising. Then under that we'll discuss definitely about steps involved, what kind of meat is ideal for braising process, and we are going to discuss about various advantages and disadvantages of braising. We will also discuss about braising techniques, braising types, and choosing the right cooking method. That, as I have mentioned, that will try to focus and re-understand the total methods of cooking, whatever we have discussed till date. Okay? The point I have mentioned in the beginning, that it is a combination method. If you go back to the classification chart in the beginning, you will find that braising is a method which is coming under combination method. We had three mediums. One is dry medium, then moist medium, and combination medium. That is combination method. What does it mean exactly? Combination cooking involves using both dry heat and moist heat cooking methods to achieve desired results. It is a versatile cooking technique that allows for a variety of flavors and texture to be developed in a dish. Okay, so that is what is called the combination method. It is using both dry heat and moist heat cooking method. Why it is required? Because mostly we are going to use the meat which are of tough quality. So naturally we need to have a prolonged slow method of cooking, and that is what we are talking about, the combination method, that is dry heat and moist combination, right? Let us define. Braising is a cooking method that combines both dry and moist heat, that already we have mentioned. It can also be defined as combination cooking of roasting and stewing. Okay, precisely it is a combination of roasting and stewing. It involves searing the food at a high temperature and then cooking it slowly in a covered pot with a small amount of liquid and on the bed of matigno, which is with the ham, so you can forego the ham as well. Matigno is basically is a evenly cut aromatic vegetables along with the dices of ham, which are used as a bed while roasting the meat. In this case, Matigno is must. Matigno is cut in a specific design because it is to be also served along with the meat to the guest. That's why there is a difference between Matigno and Mirepoix. Mirepoix is basically roughly chopped aromatic vegetables. In this case, Matigno is roughly, not roughly, it is actually designed cut. It can be dices, it can be cubes, it can be maxim, depending upon the size of meat you're going to use. And Matigno is cut, can be jardiniere as well. Matigno can be cut like that, and it is along with the ham. For your choice, you can also omit ham. So that is what the braising is. Matigno is also part of the finished product, as I have mentioned just now. This method is particularly effective for tougher cuts of meat, as the slow cooking process helps to break down the connective tissues, resulting in tender and flavorful dishes. Let us discuss once again. First of all, braising is a slow cooking method. It is a combination of roasting and stewing. Whenever we roast, we always go for using Matigno. Matigno is a perfectly cut aromatic root vegetables along with the dices of ham. If you feel, you can also forego the ham part, but ensure that Matigno is served along with the meat at the end. Okay? And it is meant for tougher cuts of joints or meat. That is what is braising. You can see the images out here. Braised, which is served along with the Matigno vegetables. Here it is cut into big dices. Sorry. And here we can see that it is served along with the vegetables. Okay, so that is what we are talking about, the braising. Now, what are the steps involved in braising? First one is shearing. Shearing is start by seasoning the meat with salt and pepper. Heat a small amount of oil in a heavy bottomed pan or pot or in a Dutch oven over high heat. The meat on all sides until it is browned. These steps helps to develop a rich flavor and color. So what does it mean? What we require to do is that first marinate the meat with salt and pepper and then put it in the heavy bottom pan or a Dutch oven where the temperature is absolutely high. By using very less amount of oil you are going to use and then put it in the heat. What will happen? The outer part of the meat will be exposed to the high heat and that will be turning brown, and that is basically known as shearing. Why shearing is required? Firstly, it will develop or enhance the appearance of the product. Second thing, it will act as a kind of sealing around the meat so that the internal juices won't be lost during a slow process of cooking. You got my point? Okay. Then the next step is sauteing the aromatics that we are talking about, the Matigno. Remove the meat from the same pot and set it aside. In the same pot, add aromatic like onion, garlic, carrots, saute them until they are softened and fragrant. Clear? Next is deglazing. This term already you know. Add a small amount of liquid such as wine, broth or water to the pot to deglaze it. Scrape up any brown bits from the bottom of the pot as these add flavor to the dish. What happens when you are shearing? Obviously, there will be some juices coming out and it will be there in the pan. And what will happen? This will coagulate and stick to one place. and this liquid is also very tasty and flavorful. We are not going to lose this. To recover that, the process is deglazing. What we will do, we'll remove the meat. In the same pan, we'll add some wine, broth or water. With the wooden spatula, we'll try to rub the bottom of the pan so that all the protein part which is sticking to the different parts of the pan, that will be all collected in one place, and it will be preparing a liquid sort of thing. That is known as a deglazing, which will be used in making the sauce. Then is adding liquid. Return the meat to the pot and add enough liquid to come halfway. Remember that, of the sides of the meat. We are not going to cover the meat fully into the liquid. So first we'll sear the meat. Second, we'll saute the aromatic vegetables. Then we'll add liquid and deglaze the pan. And after deglazing the pan, we'll put back the meat in the pan and cover it half with the liquid. This liquid can be a stock, can be a broth, can be wine, can be beer, or any combinations. Fine. Then slow cooking. Cover the pot. Cover the pot with a tight fitting lid and cook the meat slowly at a low temperature. This can be done on the stove top or in the oven. The cooking time can range from 1.5 to 4 hours depending on the type and the size of the meat. So we are going to cover the meat and reduce the temperature so that it will be cooked on a slow flame. This can be done on a stove top or in the oven. If it is in the oven, we will reduce the temperature of the oven. The cooking time, it will be around 1.5 to 4 hours depending upon the type and size of the meat. That is very obvious. Finishing. Once the meat is tender, remove it from the pot. You can reduce the cooking liquid to make a sauce. Then remove the meat, reduce the meat, reduce the liquid to make a sauce. Just a minute. And serve it along with the braised meat. You got my point now, with all the vegetables. Fine. Meat items suitable for braising. What are those? Beef. Out of the beef we can take chuck roast, short ribs, brisket, bottom round, and oxtails. These are the products out of the beef we can select for braising. Pork, under that we can use the shoulder of the pork, ribs and belly part can be braised. Under lamb we can use shanks, leg and shoulder, and chicken mainly the thighs and legs. This can be braised. Okay, so these are the meat items we can always braise. Now we will talk about some advantages of braising. First of all, it is very economical. Braising is ideal for less expensive, tougher cuts of meat and make it a cost-effective cooking methods. Okay, flavorful. The slow cooking process allows the flavors to meld together, resulting in rich and deeply flavored dishes. You can well understand that if you cook something slowly, so automatically the juices will come out, meat will become tender, and all the flavors will be concentrated and it will be much more flavorful. Tender meat, braising breaks down the tough connective tissues, making the meat tender and juicy. Okay, so meat will become tender. This is definitely one of the advantages. and versatile. Why it is versatile? You can braise a variety of meat. Already you can see that already we have mentioned different kind of meat items like this. It is mentioned out here which can be braised. It is a variety of meat and vegetables allowing for a wide range of recipes. So through braising process, you can create a number of dishes. That's why it is versatile method. Okay. There are few disadvantages as well. Time consuming. The long 1.5 to 4 hours subject to the size of the meat. So naturally it requires more time. Texture. The slow cooking process can result in a lack of texture as the meat and vegetables becomes very soft. Okay. Nutrient loss. Prolonged cooking can reduce the nutrient content of the food. There is a possibility, although some nutrients remain in the cooking liquid. That is why cooking liquid is served with the meat. Okay. Now braising techniques. Braising does come with different techniques. Here are some. It can be a pot braising or oven braising. This involves searing the ingredients and then slow cooking them in the oven with a small amount of liquid as we have mentioned. On the bed of vegetables, put it in the oven. It can be same thing can be done in a pot. So pot braising or oven braising can be done. Pan braising is also possible, similar to pot braising but done entirely on the stove top. Short braising or shallow braising uses less liquid, covering only a part of the ingredients and usually involves shorter cooking time. That is possible for chicken legs and all. Pressure braising is also there. This method uses a pressure cooker to speed up the braising process. So these are the way we can conduct our braising techniques. Fine. If you have any questions, please put me in the comment box. We'll clarify it surely. Braising types. Braising can be categorized into white braising and brown braising. And they differ mainly in the preparation of the ingredients before the actual braising process. How? White braising. Preparation. The ingredients like meat or vegetable are blanched or lightly browned without significant color change. So either it can be blanched or very lightly browned or seared without having significant color changes. So it will become automatically white. Liquid, often use lighter colored liquid such as white wine, light broth or water. So end product will be also white kind of thing or pale color. Outcome, the final dish has a more delicate flavor and a paler color as I mentioned just now. Another one is brown braising. Preparation, the ingredients are first seared or browned deeply before braising. So in case of white braising, we'll sear it very lightly or blanch it. In case of brown braising, we'll sear it little deeply to create that dense brown color. And in case this case, we are going to use the red wine, darker broth or brown stocks as a liquid so that automatically the end product will have a brown appearance. Outcome of the dish, the dish has a richer, more robust flavor and a darker color. That is obvious. So this is what we are having: white braising and brown braising. Fine. Now we have discussed right now about all the braising methods and techniques, and idea is clear in your mind now. Now let us find out, we have discussed all the cooking methods. Now how to cook, how to choose the right cooking techniques for our preparations. Let us see this matrix first. In front of you, we are having a four quadrants matrix, and I am identifying this area We are having a moist method and dry method. We are having a slow method and fast method. So here also corresponding to the moist and dry method and slow and fast method. That is a 4 quadrant. Now, whenever you are using moist and slow method, it is used for tough joints. Remember, moist and slow method is for tough joints. When you are going to use dry and slow method, that is also good for tough joints because it is a slow process. It can be a moist, it can be a dry, but in both the cases it is a slow process that you can well understand. If you are selecting a fast and moist method, then obviously you are going to use a tender joints. Same thing with the fast and dry method, we are going to use tender joints. Now let us see what are the methods. Under the moist and slow method, what are the methods we can adopt? We can adopt braising, stewing, sous vide. Already we have discussed all these methods. Okay. And what are the joints we can use? Short ribs, corned beef, pork butt, and lamb shank. These are the product. Tough joints can be braised, stewed, or sous vide. That is under moist and slow method of cooking. Clear? Similarly, under dry slow method, what are those? Roasting, smoking, barbecuing, confit. And we are going to use tough joints. What are those joints? Leg of lamb, brisket, duck confit, and barbecue. These are the joints we can always use for the methods like roasting, smoking, barbecuing, and confit. Clear? Now coming to the fast and moist method. First one is boiling, second one is simmering, third one is steaming, and then poaching. And we select normally a tender joints. What are the joints we can select for these methods? We can go for vegetables, we can go for fish, and we can go for chicken breast for fast and moist method of cooking. That is boiling, simmering, steaming, and poaching. And last, but the final one is under fast and dry method, that is roasting, baking, grilling, searing, sauteing, stir frying, frying, and broiling. All these methods coming under fast and dry method of cooking. We have discussed all these methods. You have not done the earlier lessons, please go through that. And these are the joints we can select: fish, vegetables, poultry, different kind of steaks, loin, that is beef loin, pork loin, or lamb loin. So the picture you can see in front of you are different methods of cooking, whether they are fast or slow, and what kind of joints we can use, tough joints or tender joints, and what are the products we can pick up for these kind of cooking methods. That is the way, if this chart is clear in your mind, we can easily apply the cooking methods for the best possible result. So with that, we are at the end of the session. Thank you very much for attending this session. If you have any questions, any doubt, any clarification you require, please put me in the comment box. It is very, very important for me. I can get back with the right clarifications, and your justified need can be fulfilled through my interventions over there. Keep learning. If you have liked this session, like it, subscribe it, and press the bell button so that you can get the alarm next time. And very soon we'll come back with another one new topic under this method. Till then, take care and goodbye.